Jeff, let's talk first of all about the number of penalties that were given on the first weekend, because I can't. Well, you were saying it was six. I can't remember that many on an opening weekend of a season before.
I think I heard on the TV that it's the most since 2003, but there certainly was a lot, and I don't think many arguments against any of them, in fairness.
Yeah, OK, well, let's look
at Tevez and Southampton's
in my opinion.
Yeah, well, the boys are all Southampton boys here, so I'll ask you about that one. The Tevez one, I mean, he went looking for it, but there was contact, wasn't there?
Yeah, he's turned him forward. He's obviously backed into him. He's knew he's been there, but there was contact, so I don't think the Southampton defender had much complaint, really.
Hooveld, he tackled with his wrong foot. Yeah. Hooveld went across, and as he tried to tackle him, he's tackled with his right foot instead of his left foot. I think it wasn't even in question. It was a definite penalty.
OK, and what about the Chelsea one? Oh, that was Hazard, wasn't it? I think that went
it was. He was looking for it straight away.
Can you remember that one?
It was a pen.
Yeah, that was clear cut. It was the Wigan defender didn't really have a good first few minutes to the game. I think he was at fault for the first goal, and then that was a dead certain penalty.
Who impressed you over the weekend then?
We're talking about footballers or referees?
Well, you could start with referees because that's your field of expertise.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a good start, but what we've got to remember, it's only a start. I think, on the back of the Euros, on the back of the Olympics, that there just seems to be a little bit of a better feel about things. There wasn't as much dissent, there wasn't as much diving, but it was week one. If we're still saying this at Christmas, I think we'll all be very, very happy. But I don't think really, I think the Tevez goal, we're talking about inches, but could have been marginally offside. But other than that, I don't think there was any real major decisions. The interesting one is the penalty to Reading, where had that have happened outside the penalty area, people would have said, the ref's tried to play advantage and he's come back and give the free kick. Some people are grumbling and saying, well, he's had his shot, he's missed it, and then they've got the penalty. But, personally, I think that was good refereeing. It was a split second afterwards. If the ball goes in the net, it's a goal, and probably Whitehead then doesn't get sent off, which, by the way, I thought was harsh anyhow. But, I thought that was a good piece of refereeing in that case.
Jeff, you mentioned the Tevez offside goal. The thing that really does my head in is when you get pundits criticising the assistant referee or the linesman, what we call him now, saying, he's missed that one, that's offside. As you said there, that was probably 2 or 3 inches offside. So sometimes I think pundits have got to say, I can understand why he gave him offside because it was virtually level. And the other one I thought was a brilliant decision was the West Ham, Kevin Nolan's goal, where everybody thought it was offside, and then when you looked at it, it got a flick off Clark's head, and so Vazto's played it. So I actually think the officials had a brilliant start to the season.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Dean in the West Ham game, those are the ones that, you've got to back your judgment, and he's seen the deflection off the defender. From the assistant referee's point of view, he's looking across, the ball just gets flicked forward, and he probably can't tell for sure who it's come off. So it was, and the goal was the right one. But, as we find in refereeing, you can be singing the praises 1 minute, and then, there's a game going on tonight. There could be major controversy. But so far, so good. And, let's hope it does continue.
Jeff, what about Alan Pardew's situation with the linesman?
Well, if you see, the problem is if that had been Sunday football, the manager would have probably got a 6-month ban. But when you saw it, the way it happened, I must admit, and referees out there will be calling for my head, but I did have a little bit of sympathy with Alan Pardew. It wasn't, an assault as such. It was just an instant reaction, and you could see the minute he's laid his hands on the assistant referee, he knows he's done wrong. He's apologised immediately. I still don't think that's going to save him from some sort of sanction, whether it's only just a warning. But I don't think it was as bad as it perhaps has been built up to be by some people.
What about the West Brom Liverpool game? Was it a definite sending off for you, for Agger?
Yeah, that was. The other one that we sort of just glossed over earlier with Whitehead, the second caution. It was a foul, it was a penalty, but I didn't think that challenge warranted a yellow card. So I thought the sending off in that particular instance. You know, not every foul is a yellow card, and I felt that was a little bit harsh. The Liverpool, you know, you've got to say, denying a goal-scoring opportunity. He's running into the box. The minute he blows his whistle and says it's a foul, it's got to be a red card as well.
And the Skirtle one as well, was that definitely a penalty for you?
Yeah, I mean, again, very, very unfortunate because, you know, in the old days when Gordon Perry and myself were involved, there had to be intent. And you would say that, you know, he didn't intentionally foul him. Nowadays, there doesn't have to be intent. The end reaction is, was it a foul? And he's come from behind him, slipped along the side. There has been contact, he's gone down. So I think it's very unfortunate for the Liverpool defender, but yes, it was a penalty.
Jeff, you say about Alan Pardew, and obviously if it was on a Sunday morning, then he'd probably get a 6-month ban. If it was a player and it was you, would you be so quick to say you understand it was in the heat of the moment, or would you have given him a red and he would probably get a 6-month ban as well?
Well, the 6-month ban isn't obviously professional football. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, Paolo got a 6-month ban for Paul Alcock, didn't he?
That was a push. That was
premeditated.
Did
he push the linesman?
That was a comedy fall.
No, it was comedy fall with.
Yeah, but if the linesman goes over like Paul Alcock, if he starts having, is it Alcock?
Yeah.
Alcock.
Yeah, if he goes over like them, then obviously we've got a problem again.
I think, I don't know if Jeff will agree with me, I think they're two totally different instances.
They ain't
He lays his hands on an official.
No, Paolo Di Canio actually went towards Paul Alcock and pushed him, and it was premeditated. Alan Pardew's was a reaction where he's sort of got hold of his arm and pushed him. He should be banned for it. You can't put your hands on the officials.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
But you can't have one rule.
You can't, but I mean, I do have a little bit of sympathy for Alan Pardew because it wasn't like Paolo Di Canio. It wasn't an act of violence where somebody's moved towards someone, you know, to push them over or whatever. It was almost as if he was just, you know, thrusting his arm forward, saying, you know, the ball was out of play. And the minute you see on Alan Pardew's face, the minute he's done it, he knows he's done wrong, and you know he was very contrite afterwards. But I don't think it'll save him from some sanction of some sorts, because the authorities will have to put the message out to everybody, especially people playing in you know Sunday parks and gardens football, that you can't put your hands on a match official. And you know if they do sort of hadn't have charged him and let him off, so to speak, that's open licence for, you know, the dog and duck versus the King's Head on a Sunday. And unfortunately, you know, there's not the protection of match officials at that level as there is in the Premier League.
Jeff, pleasure to speak to you. Love the shirt, by the way. We'll speak to you very soon.
It's holiday time.